much better. Good afternoon. Excellent. Before we go any further, I want to ensure today's event has all the pomp and circumstance that it deserves. To that end, the class of 2026 requests that all cell phones, pagers, other electronic devices be silenced during the ceremony. Photo opportunities will be available after today's event, and so that we ask that guests please avoid leaving their seats during the ceremony to take photographs. The chapel room is located just outside the auditorium to my left. It's available for families with small children who may need to step away during today's festivities, as the ceremony will be live streamed in that chapel room. Class of 2026, take a moment. You did it. Good afternoon again, and welcome to our graduates, faculty, staff, distinguished guests, parents, family, and friends. I'm Kletchia Wanda, and I have the honor and privilege of serving as Dean of Virginia Commonwealth University School of Pharmacy. Today's hooding and diploma ceremony is an opportunity to recognize and applaud our PharmD and PhD graduates. In reflecting on my remarks today, I thought of each of you and the long and winding road you all have taken to dedicate your lives to one of service. Whether today's ceremony marks the end of a protracted dissertation process or the end of OSCEs and APPEs, you all have worked incredibly hard to find your way. Falling down is a part of life. It's getting back up that's living. Falling down is a part of life. It's getting back up that's living. This quote by Jose Harris gives new meaning to what it means to persevere. Let's face it, for some of you, the last 4 years have been tumultuous. Am I right? Yes, yes, yes. For some, it wasn't so much the curriculum, but family, kids, balancing the personal obligations that proved challenging. For others, it was simply proving to yourself that you were more than capable. Well, class of 2026, rest assured that today is affirmation of not only your grit and determination, but your courage to continue on when it mattered the most. You see, healthcare is starving for leaders in the community, in our healthcare systems, within pharmaceutical companies, within higher education, to reimagine what it means to deliver holistic care or develop new approaches to equitable and life-saving therapies. So my ask of all of you in your future endeavors is not to focus on success or failure, but instead to take time to celebrate the wins and forge ahead when it matters the most. Your presence here today speaks volumes about your character, training, and readiness as you join thousands of School of Pharmacy graduates from VCU School of Pharmacy, MCV School of Pharmacy, across Virginia and the world. Moreover, your graduation marks 128th year of recognizing graduates of the institution. So my ask is that you embrace that legacy and forge your own path that ultimately improves the human condition. Speaking for our faculty and staff, it's been a privilege to have had students that are so well poised to make a positive difference. And as you leave as students and graduate with your degrees, I welcome you as my colleagues. I would like to take a moment and celebrate the individuals that are seated behind me. Our faculty are amongst the best in the country, and you should know that your education has been shaped by the trailblazers and the thought leaders in their various fields. So at this time, I'd like to ask our faculty to please stand. Please join me in thanking them for their dedication to your success. Our staff also play an incredibly important role in creating a conducive environment for students to learn and grow. Although their efforts are often behind the scenes, they play an outsized role in supporting your success. At this time, I'd for any staff that is in the room to please stand and be recognized. Class of 2026, enjoy this day as just reward and recognition for all your hard work over the many years. Remember, we have high expectations of all of you. And at the same time, did you hear that yes? Did you hear that yes? At the same time, remember the lessons you've learned over the course of this journey. Falling down is a part of life. It's getting back up that's living. To that end, failure is not fatal, so at no point in your career should you wallow in self-doubt. And always, always, always muster the courage to continue on. I'm immensely proud of each of you. Congratulations on this very day that affirms you are more than capable. Congratulations. So before we continue our celebratory process, I'd like to introduce Pin Shuen Wu, who serves as president of the class of 2026. One of the major factors for success of any school is the involvement of students in making decisions. A force in student governance within the school is the elected president of each class. At this time, I'd like to ask Pin to please come forward to be recognized for your leadership, as well as to present the class gift. Pin.
Hello, everybody. Good afternoon, Diploma, faculties, families, friends, and my fellow graduates. My name is Pin Shuen Wu, and I've had the privilege of serving as class president for the class of 2026. If someone had asked us on our first day what graduation would feel like, I don't think any of us would have any idea or had a clear answer. At that point, we were trying to figure out where to go, what was going on in lecture, and whether we actually belong here. And now we're leaving as more confident and capable individuals. Pharmacy school tested us in a lot of ways. There were long nights, stressful exams, and moments where things didn't go as planned. But what made a difference was not just hard work. It's the people around us. It's the small moments we share, winning donation competitions, and realizing we can make an impact beyond ourselves. Playing intramurals like basketball, volleyball, maybe some flag football, where it really never was about winning, but it was showing up for each other. Seeing how talented this class is, whether through performances, creativities, or just the energy people brought even through stressful times. And it was unexpected moments too, navigating challenges together, and also celebrating milestones, including welcoming new additions to our class family. Those moments reminded us that there's more to life than exams and deadlines. And for me, one of the most impactful experiences was my international rotation in Taiwan. Being in a different healthcare system surrounded by different language and culture, I was reminded of something simple. Care is universal. Even when communication was not always easy, compassion still came through patience, listening, and small gestures. It showed me that what we do really goes beyond clinical knowledge. It truly is. It's about how we connect with people no matter where we are. And that's something I see in all of you. No matter where we go next, whether it's across the country or somewhere else in the world, I know this class will continue to show up for others and make an impact. We did not just learn how to pass exams or memorize information. We learned how to adapt, how to support each other, and how to keep going even when things felt uncertain. And somewhere along the way, we became more than just classmates. As we move forward, our paths will look different. Some of us will go into hospitals, community pharmacy, industry, research, or other areas. But we all leave with the same foundation and the same experience. Before we close this chapter, I want to acknowledge the families, the people that have helped us get here, our professors and preceptors, our families and friends, and each other. And as part of leaving our mark, the class of 2026 will contribute a class gift to enhance the lobby of Smith with new plants and decor, creating a space that reflects the growth, resilience, and community that we built here. And so while today marks the end of pharmacy school, it's also the start of everything that comes next. And finally, happy Mother's Day to all the incredible mothers and all the mother figures who have supported us along this journey. Class of 2026, we made it. Not perfectly, not easily, but together. Thank you.
Thank you, Penn, and the class of 2026 for your thoughtful gifts and support of the school. It is now my privilege to introduce our keynote speaker for today's event, Dr. Jade Ranger. Dr. Ranger is a pharmacist, entrepreneur, author, and community leader based in Williamsburg, Virginia, and a native of Prince George's County, Maryland. A proud Hampton University alumna, she earned her Doctor of Pharmacy degree from Hampton University in 2012. She's a co-owner of the Prescription Shop Pharmacies, which she founded with her husband to provide patient-centered care to the greater Williamsburg area. In 2019, they opened their full-service pharmacy, becoming the first Black-owned pharmacy in Williamsburg. In 2023, they expanded their services with the opening of a closed-door pharmacy, which serves as their compounding lab and long-term care pharmacy. She's the author of Mustard Seed Mentality, a featured columnist for the Virginia Gazette. In 2024, she was honored with the Bowl of Hygeia Award for Outstanding Community Service and was previously recognized as a 40 under 40 honoree in the Hampton Roads area. I've had an opportunity to get to know Dr. Ranger over the years and found her to be a fierce advocate for her patients, a phenomenal ambassador for the profession, and a tremendous mentor for our students. Please join me in welcoming a modern-day trailblazer, Dr. Jade Ranger.
Good afternoon, faculty, staff, graduates, family members, and friends. I would like to begin by expressing my sincere gratitude to Dean O and the VCU School of Pharmacy Administration for inviting me to play even a small role in today's ceremony. To the graduating class of 2026, PharmD, PhD, Master of Science graduates, thank you for nominating me. When I learned that each year the graduating class submits 4 to 5 names for consideration, I was both surprised and deeply honored to be included on the short list. While I've had the privilege of engaging with many of you all at conferences, legislative days, on campus, and even at the prescription shop, I never take for granted the opportunity to pour into you all again. And of course, I would be remiss if I didn't take the opportunity to thank my family for their unwavering support. My husband, who is not only my business partner, but the love of my life and my very best friend. My mom, who is my constant rock and prayer warrior. My dad, who initially encouraged me to pursue the profession of pharmacy as a career path and has always pushed me to reach higher and to be comfortable in my own skin. My sister, who happens to be a fellow pharmacist and a lifelong built-in best friend, and my aunt, who has been one of my biggest cheerleaders, are all here with me today, making this moment even more special. My boys are not here with me today because I am that mom that does not believe in missing school unless you are unwell and absolutely unable to attend. But just know that they have watched me rehearse and they are cheering me on in spirit. I was told that I have about 7 to 10 minutes for this address. And so for my church folks in the room, since we are literally in the house of the Lord, I will say I won't tarry before you too long. because I know that there are pictures to take, reservations to get to, and family celebrations waiting, and I don't want to stand in the way in any of that. But before you go, I do have a few things that I want you to hear. Not too long ago, at least I'd like to think not too long ago, I sat exactly where you are. Maybe not physically in these seats, but in that same moment. And I remember the emotions clearly: pride, relief, excitement, and if we're being honest, a little fear. Because while I knew I had done the work, I also knew that the real work was just beginning. And whether you are stepping into patient care, research, drug development, academia, industry, or another path entirely, the responsibility is real. Because each of you, in your own way, will impact patient outcomes, shape healthcare, and influence the future of this profession. At this moment, right where you are, it's the precipice. And here's what I need you to understand. You are already equipped. Now trust it. You've spent years mastering information, building skills, and pushing through challenges. But while your training has prepared you with the knowledge and expertise, what comes next will require something more. It will require judgment. It will require courage. It will require ownership. And the truth is, you may not feel ready. But readiness is not a feeling, it's a decision. You don't become ready when the fear goes away. You become ready when you move forward anyway. And I want you to hold on to that, because it won't just apply today. It will show up repeatedly throughout your career. I know this because I've lived it. Many of you have heard parts of my story, but let me take you back for a moment for those who may be unfamiliar with my path to pharmacy ownership. I decided I wanted to become a community pharmacist at the age of 17. I had the opportunity to shadow a community pharmacist at a small grocery store where I'm from in Maryland, and she allowed me to come in for a few hours every day, Monday through Friday, to observe her and see what she was doing. That experience changed everything for me. It wasn't just about the medications. It was the relationships. It was the trust. It was watching patients walk in and be greeted by name. It was seeing firsthand how a pharmacist could be such an integral part of a community, accessible, knowledgeable, and truly making a difference in people's lives. That was the moment I knew this was what I wanted to do. Now let's fast forward a bit. Pharmacy school did not come easy for me, and I know that may be surprising to a few of you, but the truth is I really struggled my first 2 years. I had to make some real adjustments. I had to let go of cheerleading and other things I really enjoyed and fully commit to the process. And I'll be honest, that was not easy. If you let my husband tell the story, he likes to say that I really started excelling around my 3rd year, right around the time we started dating. I'm not saying there's a correlation, but I'm also not saying there isn't. But in all seriousness, what changed was my level of focus, my discipline, and my commitment to the goal in front of me. And pharmacy ownership, that was never even on my radar. Now that's something that my husband actually can legitimately take credit for, because if we're being honest, he pulled me along this journey in spite of all of my reluctance and kicking and screaming. But here's the part of the story that people don't always hear. My husband, Dr. Henry Ranger, was doing extremely well in his career. He was at the pinnacle, receiving constant promotions, winning awards, and even being flown across the country to speak on specialty medications during his time with Walmart Pharmacy. By all accounts, he had made it. Financially, things were going well. Professionally, he was thriving, but he wasn't fulfilled. At his core, he missed being a community pharmacist. He missed the relationships, the impact, the connection to patients. And so he made a decision, a difficult one. He decided to walk away from that path and pivot. Now let's be clear, that wasn't an easy decision. There was fear, there was pressure, and there was a whole lot of uncertainty. Because not only was he making that decision for himself, but he had also convinced me to take that leap of faith with him. At the time, we had 2 very young children, basically an infant and a toddler. We were stepping into the unknown, borrowing from our 401k, taking out a small business loan, and choosing a path that, quite frankly, we had never seen modeled before. And if I'm being real with you, it was terrifying. There were moments when I questioned everything. Moments when I wondered if we were making the right decision. Moments where fear was loud. But despite all of that, we moved forward anyway. We made the decision to open an independent community pharmacy from the ground up when we saw so many pharmacies closing their doors due to unfair reimbursement practices. And I'll be honest, we didn't feel fully ready then either. But we moved forward anyway. So I think I can safely say that I know a thing or two about moving forward, not in the absence of fear, but despite it. If I had let fear paralyze me, I would have stuck with the status quo. I would have stayed in my lane. I wouldn't have decided to break the mold. I wouldn't have pursued a path where less than 2% of pharmacy owners across the nation look like me. I would have waited for a seat at the table instead of building my own and inviting others to join me. Because I was willing to step out on faith, I now wake up every single morning genuinely fulfilled in my career, making a real difference in my community and in the lives of my patients. Fear didn't stop me. No, fear propelled me. And I'll tell you this, fear didn't disappear. And truthfully, it never really does. When we decided to open our second location, a compounding lab and long-term care pharmacy, we were scared all over again. We questioned whether we could really own and operate 2 pharmacies without business degrees and with little experience in the long-term care space. But we did the work, we researched, we found mentors, we asked questions, and yes, there was a whole lot of trial and error in the beginning. But we kept moving forward anyway. Because if we had waited, if we had stayed comfortable, if we had stayed in our lane, we wouldn't be where we are today. We wouldn't have built something that allows us to serve our community in a way that is deeply personal and meaningful. So now you've heard my story, you've heard our story, but let's bring it back to you. Take a moment, and look around this room. These are the people you studied with. These are the people who you stressed with, who made it through this journey with you. And what you're walking away with today is not just a degree. You're walking away with a network, a community, a village. Don't lose that. Stay connected, be intentional, make the effort. Because I'll tell you from personal experience, that matters more than you realize. To this day, I have a group chat with 3 of the women I went through pharmacy school with. We call ourselves affectionately the Pharmtastic 4. These women have been my sisters through every season of my adult life. We've stood in each other's weddings, celebrated at baby showers, held each other up through the loss of parents and through some of life's most difficult moments. And even now, years later, with 1 in Miami and 2 in the Maryland, D.C. area, we don't see each other all the time. But we are still a constant source of support for one another. And when I look back over the years, I am so grateful that I was intentional about keeping those relationships strong. Because here's what I've learned. There will be moments in your life and career when you don't have all the answers. Moments when you'll feel uncertain. Moments when fear shows up again. And in those moments, you will need people who help remind you to move forward anyway. But let me also say this. Be mindful of who you surround yourself with. This is not the time to build a circle of yes people who will constantly tell you what you want to hear and stroke your ego. Instead, surround yourself with people who are honest, people who will challenge you to be the best version of yourself and hold you accountable. And I should know, because I live with mine. But the good thing is that my husband and I are able to keep each other accountable together. Because yes, moving forward anyway is a decision, but it's a whole lot easier to do when you're not doing it alone, and when the people around you are helping you grow, not just keeping you comfortable. That's why the relationships you've built here matter, because as the African proverb reminds us, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. And if you truly want to go far in this profession, you're going to need each other. And I'll take that one step further. Your community doesn't stop here. The relationships you've built in this room are just the beginning. There is an entire profession waiting for you to step into it. So I encourage you to stay engaged. Be active in your state pharmacy organizations. Stay connected at the national level, whether that's through the American Pharmacist Association, the National Pharmaceutical Association, or any other organization that aligns with your passion and your purpose. Because the work doesn't stop at graduation. In many ways, it's just getting started. And I don't say that lightly. Just a few weeks ago, I was in Washington, D.C., meeting with legislators advocating for our profession and for our patients. And a couple of weeks before that, I was sitting at a round table with Senator Tim Kaine and other independent pharmacy owners, having real conversations about the challenges we're facing and the changes that need to happen. So when I say the work continues, I mean that. This is how you stay informed. This is how you stay connected. This is how you have a voice. Now let me give you something that no syllabus will ever teach you, and while I'm sure you've heard this before, here's another dose of reality. Pharmacy and this broader healthcare research community is a small world. Your reputation will walk into rooms long before you do. How you show up matters. How you treat people matters. How you carry yourself when no one is watching matters. Because doors will open for you, not just because of what you know, but because of who you've shown yourself to be. And finally, the journey ahead will not always be easy. There is a lot swirling around you all right now. Negativity, headlines that seem to get worse by the day, people who are really struggling. But this is where you come in. You are the thought leaders, you are the change makers, you are the ones we are counting on. So when doubt creeps in, when fear shows up, move forward anyway. And when you can, help someone else do the same. You are the prescription. Class of 2026, to you I say, congratulations. Now, get to work. Thank you.
Dr. Ranger, I want to say thank you for the inspiring remarks. On behalf of the class of 2026, as well as VCU School of Pharmacy, I want to say thank you as a token of appreciation.
So much, I appreciate that. Thank you all.
And happy Mother's Day. Thank you. Now I'd like to introduce Associate Dean Dr. Nicholas Garcia to announce our student awards and ask Associate Dean Dr. Laura Franker to come forward to assist in presenting our student awards. Dean Garcia.
Thank you, Dean Abuana. The Rokai Society is pharmacy's academic honor society that encourages and recognizes excellence in intellectual achievement. The Lambda chapter, established on the MCV campus in 1929, requires that PharmD and graduate students must be in the top 20% of their class based on grades achieved in all prerequisite and pharmacy courses. Will the members of the class of 2026 who have been inducted into the Rokai Society please stand and be recognized? You may be seated. Phi Lambda Sigma is the National Leadership Society in Pharmacy. The society encourages and recognizes excellence in leadership in the profession of pharmacy, and members are selected by peer recognition. Will the members of the class of 2026 who have been inducted into Phi Lambda Sigma please stand to be recognized? Thank you. You may be seated. The Student Executive Committee of the school comprises of the presidents of each class, the presidents of each student organization. In order to keep this group of achievers in line, the entire student body elects a student body president, a vice president, and a secretary. Alexis Archer served as student body president, and Sabrina Elshanti Riley served as student body vice president, and Amaya Carey served as student body secretary during the 2024-2025 academic year. Alexis, Sabrina, and Amaya, will you please stand and be recognized for your leadership within the school? Thank you. The next award I will present is the United States Public Health Service Excellence Award. I would like to invite Dr. Jonathan Lee, Lieutenant Commander in the United States Public Health Service, and Dr. Sylvia Juanes, Commander in the United States Public Health Service, to the stage to help present this award. The Pharmacist of the United States Public Health Service established the Excellence in Public Health Pharmacy Award in 2006 to encourage student pharmacists to become active in public health. Pharmacists are entrusted to be accessible healthcare providers, and they have the capability and responsibility to produce a positive impact on our nation's health. Pharmacy students have similar opportunities to make positive impacts on public health in their communities, and we hope they strive to continue to increase those positive impacts as pharmacists after graduation. Pharmacists and pharmacy students alike are pivotal in advancing public health. The annual award recognizes pharmacy students who demonstrate commitment to public health. The Commission Corps recognizes student pharmacists who are active in developing innovative approaches to current public health challenges and those who will help lead our nation to a healthier future. This year, the Commission Corps recognizes 85 students from across the country for their innovative and impactful efforts to address public health challenges. This graduate is recognized for her passion for advancing women's health, including maternal health equity, while making an impact at the local, state, and international levels through her work with SNAFA at VCU and across the Atlantic Ocean in Ghana at the Kamfo Anoche Teaching Hospital. Based on her work, I am pleased to recognize, on behalf of the Chief Pharmacist, Rear Admiral Kelly Batiste, this year's recipient of the U.S. PHS Excellent in Public Health Pharmacy Award from Virginia Commonwealth University is Michelle Johnson. Michelle, will you please come to the stage? The final award I will present this afternoon is the Beatrice Award in Excellence in Pharmacy. Beatrice was formed in 2020 through a merger of Mylan and Upjohn. It is a healthcare company empowering people worldwide to live healthier at every stage of life. The award is presented to reward and recognize academic excellence, high personal motivation, and exceptional ability to communicate drug information. This year's recipient is Kirsten Locke. Dina Buana will now present our final student awards for the afternoon.
I love when students come to the stage and they're absolutely shocked and surprised. The Abby Metzger Academic Excellence Award is provided to a graduate or graduates who have achieved the highest grade point average in the graduating class. This award honors the late Abby Metzger, who was a member of the class of 2025. Forever part of our VCU family, Abby's vivacious spirit and irrepressible joy filled our halls, filled our hearts, and she will always be missed. She packed a lot of living in each day, pre-dawn gym workouts, a rigorous class schedule, active engagement in the VCU family life, aiding and supporting friends, and diligent attention to her studies. Abby's heart for the field of pharmacy and love for learning allowed her to flourish during her time in the School of Pharmacy, just as this year's award winners. This year's recipients have earned a grade of A in every course while completing a total of 158 semester hours of coursework during the past 4 years. A grade of A in every course over 4 years. To be more specific, we have 7 graduates this year that have maintained a perfect 4.0. To our class of 2026, when your name is called, please join me on stage to be recognized. I just ask that the audience please hold your applause until all 7 recipients have joined me on stage. Evelyn Dow. It's been 4 years and they still don't listen. Yeah. Samina Hashmi. Michaela Johnson. Ray Liu. Haley Mickle. John Pham. Caleb Siders. Congratulations again to all of you for your stellar academic performance. The next award that I will present this afternoon is the VCU Alumni Award. This award is made possible by the generous donations from the MCV Alumni Association. The award is presented to reward and recognize academic excellence, leadership, and service to the university. This award consists of a recognition plaque and a cash award of $1,000. This year's recipient has served as student body president, MCV Foundation keynote speaker, and a mentor to students both internally and externally. Please join me in celebrating Alexis Archer. After graduation, Alexis will be completing a residency at MedStar Georgetown University Hospital in Washington, D.C. Alexis, they're excited for you. They're excited for you. The final student award of the day is the Dean's Award. It's sponsored by the Rosenthal Foundation in honor of former Dean John Ruggiero. The award consists of a recognition plaque and a cash award of $1,250. This prestigious award recognizes a student who has demonstrated consistent, outstanding achievement and unselfish devotion to their class, the school, and the university, and the profession throughout their 4 years of study. This year, we're honoring a recipient who has had an impressive record of achievement and service throughout their tenure. I met this student 6 years ago, and they were considering a professional career pivot. We had several meetings about prerequisite courses and how one balances the tug and pull of work-life responsibilities as a non-traditional student, and candid dialogue that the path to pharmacy might take 1 or 2 years before she actually entered into our program. Despite the time and effort and arduous path, she dug in. Unbeknownst to me at the time, this student would become one of the most formidable forces for positive change and student engagement the school has ever seen. She supports and mentors her student peers when times are tough. She has created space and buy-in for new organizations and initiatives, all while excelling academically. To that end, it's my distinct pleasure and honor to present this year's Dean's Award, sponsored by the Rosenthal Foundation in honor of former Dean John Ruggiero, to Erica Nixon Lambert. Following graduation, Erica will continue here at VCU School of Pharmacy as she completes her community pharmacy residency program at Bremo Pharmacy. In addition to our student body, preceptors and faculty are essential to success of our school. I'd like to invite Ms. Coffey, Director for Experiential Education, to announce the 2026 Precepting Award winners. Ms. Coffey.
Good afternoon, everyone. Congratulations, class of 2026. For those of you who may not know, approximately a third of the PharmD curriculum is experiential education. My office schedules between 1,000 and 1,200 rotations every year. As you can imagine, it's a lot of moving parts and never a dull moment. We could not do this and get to lovely events like today without the hundreds of dedicated pharmacists who help train our students. With nominations submitted by this class, the Experiential Education Awards Committee selects a group of Precepting Award winners. For the 25-26 academic year, the Experiential Education Awards are in 3 categories: Outstanding Preceptors, a Partner Recognition, and the Preceptor of the Year. The first awards are for our outstanding preceptors. These are pharmacists who love to teach. They demonstrate the best characteristics and professionalism of an excellent pharmacist in their respective healthcare settings. This year, 10 preceptors were selected from the nominations. Most of them are with us today, I'm happy to say. Please hold your applause as I call their names. You get to practice a second time. As I call their names to come up on stage and remain on stage as we add to the group and take a group photo. The award winners are Dr. Benu Aurora, pharmacist with CVS in Vienna, Virginia. Well done. Dr. Caitlin Amore, internal medicine pharmacist with the Hampton VA Medical Center in Hampton, Virginia. Dr. Ann Mashik, internal medicine pharmacist at VCU Health and our VCU School of Pharmacy here in Richmond. Dr. Emily Puckett, specialty pharmacist at the University of Virginia Health Center in Charlottesville, Virginia. Dr. Lori Dunn, ambulatory care pharmacist with the University of Virginia Health System in Charlottesville. Dr. Vini Azesu, cardiovascular critical care pharmacist with Bon Secours Memorial Regional Medical Center here in Richmond. Dr. Amy Cook, critical care pharmacist with HCA Henrico Doctors Hospital in Richmond. Dr. Evan Hurley, infectious disease pharmacist with Inova Alexandria Hospital in Alexandria, Virginia. Dr. Jessica Green, clinical pharmacy specialist with Inova Health Systems Center for Personalized Health in Fairfax, Virginia. And Dr. Ann Harrison, who is a VCU Health specialty pharmacist but could not be with us today. Thank you all very much. Thank you. The next award is the Partner Recognition Award, and unfortunately our partner could not be here today. She's trying to catch a plane. But it's not an award that's given regularly. It's meant to be a special recognition when there's exemplary partnership with my office and throughout the year. And this year, the office recognizes Dr. Kristen Marge with Inova Health System for her tireless efforts in gathering rotations from all the Inova hospitals and assisting with scheduling and rescheduling. These are our outstanding preceptors for the 25-26 year. Thank you for providing such excellent experiential education for our students. Please join me in thanking them again. Our final award is the Lawrence Earl Clevenger Preceptor of the Year. Before we announce the awardee, I would like to invite Dr. Donna Clevenger, daughter of the late VCU grad Lawrence Earl Clevenger, who the Preceptor of the Year award is named after. Dr. Clevenger, would you please join us on stage?
You. Naturally, I have to do everything a little different. The PhD is in the performing arts, so here is my stage. And you are my audience. Look at you, you're wonderful. Look at all of you. And you are extra special. Dean, I really appreciate this moment. I appreciate Kara in the foundation office getting me from place to place, where I've been here in wonderful Richmond, Virginia. How do you like my outfit? Yeah. I even got the pin, thanks to the dean and Miss Betsy over there. I appreciate this very much. I am continuing to be a full professor at another university, and can you imagine where that university is? It is in the South. Huh? I hope you can understand me. Thank you, wonderful professors. I join you in understanding how difficult, but yet how wonderful it is to teach these students and my students. But today I'm not necessarily here to talk just about us. I'm here to talk about my dad, Lawrence Earl Clevenger. This is a very special day for all of you that are here, is it not? Yes, and you will remember May the 8th, 2026 as your day forward. How's that? I remember May the 8th, 1923, which is the birthday of my father. So I had to be here today, of course, to celebrate with all of you and talk to you about my father. Like I said, 1923 was when he was born on a second floor of a farmhouse in Farmville, Virginia, thanks to a wonderful help and wonderful family. He was brought into the world on a beautiful day like today, I understand. the youngest of 3 brothers and 2 sisters. Naturally, he was very, very spoiled growing up. He used to play hooky a lot. He used to terrorize the young ladies in the neighborhood. And my grandmother, which is his mother, usually got after him. She was a real taskmaster. My grandmother, was in the 2nd graduating class of Longwood College. I think it's called something else now. But anyway, he had a great childhood, had lots of fun, loved baseball. Boys State represented in his life, as well as the love of pharmacy. He knew very early on that pharmacy was going to be his life stream. And so he was so excited when he got admitted to, sorry, but it was MCV then, okay? At MCV, and he took a bus trip. I shared with the dean a postcard that talked to his sister about arriving in Richmond, finding a place on Franklin Street. I think you said it was somewhere around the library, is that correct? And of course, what he really meant was, here's my new address, send money. Right, you know how that works, of course. During his years at pharmacy school, he distinguished himself by being a leader in many different ways. But as you know, the Second World War came along and interrupted his time here. He served as a medic in the war, oftentimes being with young men as they took their final breaths on the battlefield. So when he finally returned to the States, he took some time off by going and seeing the families of these fallen soldiers to let them know about their son, give them some mementos from their child, and talk about those final moments. So my dad anxiously came back to MCV, but he had probably one of the major decisions in his life. Do I take one of those refresher courses? Or do I plunge right into my senior year? Thank goodness he stayed for the refresher course. Or he would not have met my mom, which meant I would not be here today. Yes, supposedly the story was that he met her watching her play ping pong at the YMCA. And I'm sure, yeah, there you go, right, YMCA, yeah, right. I'm not going to go on with that story, you know. I'll move on to something else quickly. The dean's going to kill me because I've already gone over my 3 minutes, I'm sure. I'm sorry, Dean. I'm going to get out of here as quick as I can. Okay. So he did stay for that refresher course, ended up being president of his fraternity, graduated in 1947. That fall, he married my mom, and away they went to southwestern Virginia. And he served as pharmacist at several local retailers in the southwest Virginia area until finally settling in a place called Pulaski, Virginia. Do you know where that is? Yes. Well, it was a thriving community, all right, and my home, all right, for the years in the 50s and 60s and 70s. He was part of the Tyler Drug Company as a pharmacist, as a part owner, and finally owner, and built his own store, and on and on and on. And I grew up in the drugstore. After school, I went there every day. And above everything that my father did for the community, for his church, and for the profession of pharmacy, what he loved best, of course, was being a preceptor. Being a preceptor. He thought it was fabulous that he could still have a role to play at MCV. And he looked forward to that every time. When I got old enough, I looked forward to it because it meant I could maybe get a couple of dates. Nothing like having a pharmacy student take you to the prom, is it? Okay. Got to show off a little bit, yeah. But I do so appreciate preceptors. I want to thank those that have served as preceptors. When the opportunity came along to name this award after my dad, I was there because I saw firsthand, year after year, what it took to be a preceptor. A beautiful story, you know, the world comes around, right, and touches itself. And there was my dad precepting a future pharmacist, and many of those young students would come back that he precepted and worked with my dad as a, relief pharmacist? Yes. So I am so honored to be here with you today. I want to thank those of you that allowed me to come on this beautiful day to share. It's gone full circle for me with my dad, and I'm sure he's looking from above to thank all of us for serving in a wonderful profession. I hope this young class continues to grow and develop, and maybe you will become a preceptor, all right, in the future. Your dean said in a newsletter a couple of weeks ago something about standing on the shoulders and you might see giants. Yeah, think of all these giants that have come before you. Think of the giants that somebody will be looking to you as they continue to work in the area of pharmacy. Thank you so very much for giving me your time and attention this afternoon. It's been lots of fun, hasn't it? Yeah, it's been great. And I do want to say one other thing, and I'll give you back the mic. And what would that be? Happy birthday, Daddy.
Thank you, Dr. Clevenger. The Preceptor of the Year Award is given to a preceptor who has demonstrated sustained excellence in precepting and is a previous recipient of the Outstanding Preceptor Award. Our winner this year contributes to experiential ed by providing both introductory and advanced pharmacy experiences. She is consistently viewed as a role model and mentor to students. Students who nominated her this year specifically spoke about her shining example of what a pharmacist should be, her compassion for patients, the warm and positive work environment she creates, and the high level of patient care she provides. It is my honor to present the 25-26 Lawrence Earl Clevenger Preceptor of the Year Award to Dr. Nicole Amasini. For those of you who don't know, she's a clinical pharmacist at the Children's Hospital of Richmond at VCU, as well as a faculty member of the School of Pharmacy. Please join me in congratulating all of our experiential award recipients. Your service to our students and our school is both honorable and appreciated. Thank you so much.
Thank you again, Dr. Clevenger. And thank you, Ms. Coffey. Teaching is vital to the success of any program. The quality of professional and graduate degrees, and also the award-worthy nature of our program, is built by our faculty. The Faculty Teaching Award is one in which all faculty are eligible to win. It consists of a plaque as well as an honorarium. The award results from an extensive peer review process involving faculty as well as students. Selection criteria focus on excellence in teaching and excellence in promoting the teaching mission of the school. This year's students nominated faculty members deserving of the Bertha Roth Teacher of the Year Award. I ask each of the following nominees to please rise when I call your name. For the P1 class, Dr. Benjamin Ventassel. For the P2 class, Dr. Benjamin Ventassel. For the P3 class, Dr. Krista Donahoe. For the graduate program, Dr. Malgosia Ducat. Please join me in a round of applause for these excellent teachers. This year's Bertha Roth Overall Teacher of the Year recipient has excelled as a teacher and mentor, always fully committed to our students. Here are a few comments submitted supporting the award winner. This professor is willing to sit down and explain things to students, teaches in a clear way to follow, communicates timely to students, passionate about topics, and makes students curious and passionate too. I first met this professor when he played a patient during lab. They were so nice and encouraging and left such an impression on me. So when I found out they were teaching cardio, I was very excited. Please help me recognize the 2026 Bertha Roth Teacher of the Year Award recipient, Dr. Benjamin Ventassel. As you can all tell, there's no one standing up behind me. Dr. Ventassel is not able to be here with you today, class of 2026. However, he did provide some remarks he wanted me to share with all of you. He writes, "There's something intrinsically wonderful and wholesome about teaching. When we do it right, it's one of those rare acts that brings out the best in all of us and benefits both the giver as well as the receiver. I want to say thank you to the class of 2026. It has been an honor to be your teacher. I apologize for my absence today, but I want you to know I'm super proud of all of you. I also want to say thank you to the Bertha Roth family for supporting this award. Thank you also to my many colleagues, both faculty and staff, that support our educational mission. None of us could do this alone. But most of all, congratulations to the class of 2026, and thank you for letting me be a part of your celebration today." So on to the celebration. Next, I'd like to call on Allie Thompson to deliver the graduate student commencement address. Allie, the floor is yours.
Good afternoon. Hi, everyone. For those who don't know me, my name is Allie Thompson, and I'm a graduate student graduating from the Medicinal Chemistry Department. It's truly an honor to be standing here today, so thank you for those who selected me, and I'll try not to mess up my lines. First, I want to say a huge congratulations to all the students sitting in this room. We made it. Most of us have spent at least 4 years here at the School of Pharmacy, earning our degrees through long nights, sacrifices, and challenges, many of which were completely outside of our control. This is an accomplishment that deserves to be celebrated, so truly, congratulations. I also want to take a moment to thank the faculty and staff who made this journey possible. As a graduate student, so much of our experience is shaped by the people who teach and mentor us. Over the past few years, I've had the opportunity to interact with many of you, and one thing has stood out, and that's how deeply you care about education and student success. To our faculty, our deans, our staff, who keep everything running behind the scenes, thank you very much. You are what makes the VCU School of Pharmacy such a strong and supportive community. When I was thinking about what I wanted to say today, I was reflecting on how I've been feeling the past few months about graduating. And that's exciting, but honestly a little bit nervous about what the next chapter and the future looks like. Graduating is exciting, but it's overwhelming, and change can be daunting. For many of us, this moment comes with questions about what's next. And if I'm being honest, this isn't the first time I've felt uncertain about my path. I actually failed my first general chemistry course in college, and at the time I thought that I needed to change direction. Even more recently, about a year and a half ago, I spent months running experiments that weren't working, and I felt like I had tried everything and that my whole dissertation would not work out. But in those moments, it came down to one final thought. I've already come this far, so I might as well try one more time. And somehow that one more time was what made the difference. Growing up, my family always emphasized something simple, that a lot of the time the hardest part is showing up. Showing up when things feel uncertain, showing up when things don't work the first time, and choosing to try again when it would be easier not to. And now standing here today, I think that's the point. Every person in this room has faced setbacks in some form and still has kept going. We all showed up, we tried again, and we made it here. And one of the most important things we've learned isn't just how to show up or to succeed, but it's how to fail, adapt, and also keep showing up. Because failure isn't something that we need to fear, it's something that we've already learned to move through. And when I reflect on the past few years of conversations with my classmates, my lab mates, faculty, and mentors, there's one thing that has consistently stood out. No matter who I was talking to, no matter their background, we all shared something in common, and it was hope. Hope in what we do, hope in the impact that we can make, and hope that what we've spent years building will translate into something meaningful beyond these walls. And I think hope is what brought us here in the first place. We all chose paths in pharmacy and pharmaceutical sciences because at some level we do want to help people, whether that's through patient care, research, innovation, or education. We're all driven by the belief that we can make a difference. And for myself, and I'm sure many of you feel the same, it's easy to be impatient and imagine our impact only on a large scale. Major discoveries, breakthroughs, treatments, systematic change, but what I've learned here is that the impact often starts smaller, in moments that may seem insignificant if we're not paying attention, but we should. It starts with collaboration, supporting one another, with showing up for our communities in whatever way that we can, because real progress, whether in science or healthcare, doesn't happen in isolation. It happens when people come together, especially during difficult and uncertain times like right now. And that's something we've already proven to do. We've supported each other through challenges, adapted when things have not gone as planned, and continued to move forward, even when it wasn't easy. So as we move into the next chapter, I hope that we carry that with us, not just the knowledge that we've gained, but the resilience we've built through overcoming challenges. The resilience that came from things not going as planned, the persistence to keep going when progress felt slow or uncertain, the ability to navigate uncertainty, to rely on one another, and to continue showing up and trying again, even when the path forward was not clear. Because if there's one thing that this experience has shown all of us, it's that we are capable of more than we think. And that together we can create meaningful, positive change in the communities that we serve. Congratulations again, class of 2026. I'm really proud to be a part of this group, and I can't wait to see what we all go on to do.
Thank you again, Allie. Now, we will recognize our graduate students. I'd like to call upon Dr. Mary Peace McCrae, our Associate Dean for Research and Graduate Studies, to announce each of our graduate students and their major advisor. Dr. McCrae.
She's already ahead of me, sorry. At this time. At this time, I would like to ask the faculty who will be hooding the students to line up. So the first set of graduate students who will be receiving their Master's of Science in Pharmaceutical Sciences degree. Interesting. Okay, sorry, we're a little confused here. The first student is Divya Bande. Her advisors were both Dr. Rebecca Heiss and Dr. Masahiro Sakagami, and she's being hooded today by Dr. Heiss. The title of her thesis was The Development of and Preliminary Characterization of a Novel Setup for Generation of Wood Smoke Extract. Next is Jason Funderburg. His advisors are Dr. Matt Halquist and Dr. Sandro DeHosha, and his dissertation thesis title is Absolute Quantification and Identification of RNA from RNA Lipid Nanoparticles Using High-Resolution Mass Spectrometry. All right, I now invite the graduates who are receiving their Doctor of Philosophy and Pharmaceutical Sciences degree to process forward. Lama Basalela, her advisor is Dr. Shanika Wichasenji. I'm going to be hooding her, so give me just a second. And her dissertation title is A Computational Platform for Mining Failed Multikinase Inhibitors. Hang on. I'm back. Next is Saida Hashimi. Her advisor is Dr. Elvin Price, and her dissertation title is Pharmacogenomics and Medication Safety in Older Adults. Next we have Jonathan Naim Name. Her advisor is Dr. Shijun Zhang, and the title is Development of New Small Molecule Inhibitors Targeting NLRP3 Inflammasome Pathway. Next we have Sagun Podal. Her advisor is Dr. Jingguo Zhu. And the title of her dissertation was Formulation and Preclinical Evaluation of Ocular Drug Delivery Systems. Larissa Ravel, her advisor is Dr. Matt Halquist, and her dissertation title is A Liquid Chromatography High-Resolution Mass Spectrometry Analysis of Multiple Neurotransmitters in a Delirium Model, Assessing the Risk of Multi-Drug Sedation. Next, we have Purnajay Sharivajay Saravanan Onaja. Sorry, VJ. His advisor is Dr. Phil Girk, and the title of his dissertation is Presystemic Metabolism and Pharmacokinetic Characterization of an Enzymatically Modified Isoquercitrin, a Potential Therapeutic for Monoclonic Dystrophy Type 1. And last, we have Allie Thompson. Her advisor is Dr. Umesh Desai, and her dissertation title is The Development and Applications of Glycosaminoglycan Microarray Technology. All right, thank you.
Let's give our graduate students another round of applause. Next, I'd like to call on Rahil Sayud to deliver the Doctor of Pharmacy Senior Class Address. Silver Hill. They didn't cheer for me like that. Yeah.
رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Greetings, Deano, faculty members, families, and fellow graduates. My given name is Sayyid Rahil Ahmad. I want to start with a story. About 4 or 5 years ago, I hit a really low point in my life. I was a 7th grade science teacher in Atlanta, and I felt really lost. I looked in every direction, trying to find some sense of purpose, and kept coming back with nothing. I was frustrated, directionless, praying and pleading to God to show me his plan for me. One beautiful hot summer day, I went to the beach for some R&R. I ran straight for the water. I was playing in the waves like a little kid, having a time of my life. When I finally looked back at the shore, it felt like it was a mile away. Suddenly, the earth disappeared beneath me. Panic set in. And in my excitement to reach the water, I had failed to notice the red flag that said riptide warning. I tried to swim back, but I was already caught in the riptide, not even realizing I was swimming in a circle. Fatigue had set in. I began to scream for help, but nobody could hear me. Then a wave took me under, and I was completely submerged, floating in the ocean. I thought that was it for me. I got to the surface, and I tried to float on my back, but then another wave took me under. And at that moment, God told me, keep swimming. So I did. I even caught a leg cramp on the way, but that cramp was just a distraction from my destination. I kept swimming. Until finally, I felt the sandy shore beneath my feet. I stood up, and I looked to the sky to thank God for my life. And in those few seconds staring at the sky, I no longer felt lost. I came out of that water with two things on my heart. The first was to marry the love of my life. And for some reason, God told me to apply to pharmacy school. I had never thought about pharmacy school prior to that moment. But ever since that incident, I have put all my efforts into making things happen, and everything began to fall in place. I knew that this is exactly where I'm supposed to be. I am deeply honored that my colleagues trusted me to stand up here and speak for all of us. These last 4 years with these cohort was beautiful chaos. We bonded over trauma. Time felt sped up and slowed down at the same time. Every day felt like an hour, and every week felt like a month. There was never enough sleep. I wish I could play back a video of some of you trying to stay awake in lecture, trying to hold our heads up as we float in and out of sleep. Exam days felt like a fever dream, delirious from the lack of sleep and enough caffeine to cause an arrhythmia. You could feel the anxiety building in that room. I'd overhear Yoon and Josh quizzing each other, and immediate think, did I even study last night? Then Kwang would hit me with a joke I was just too stressed to laugh at. People panic scrolling over their notes. I would have a breakdown during the exam, and again when that great notification will pop up in the middle of lecture, you see the whole room shift in unison. Muffled sounds of, thank God. I just need an A on the next two. And the classic, I'm probably getting an email from the dean. We saw each other at some of our lowest points, and only we knew how big those small victories meant to us. Every single one of you has inspired me in our own unique way. Alexis and Pin, you pushed me to grow as a leader. Erica, you personified grace and optimism. Evelyn, she just terrifies me, so I just shut up and listen. Hannah and Belinda, thank you for always considering me in your plans. No one knows this, but we won a dodgeball tournament together. Tiffany, thank you for lighting up every room you walk into. Eric, Que lo que manito. You will always have a room in my home. Amaya, thank you for being an amazing friend. Haley and Ryan, thank you guys for helping me when you saw me struggle. Jackie, thank you for being the first to wish everyone a happy birthday every single time. And to all the mothers in this class, I cannot imagine how special this day is for your families. You are incredible. Happy Mother's Day. It took a village to get us, each of us here today, and I am extremely proud of every single one of us for making it. As we walk out of here today, I want to leave you with this. Think back to that second when I was on that beach. When I finally hit that shore, I felt relief. I felt gratitude. I felt like I made it. But here's the thing about shores. They are never the end. They are just where you catch your breath right before the next swim begins. As you move forward into your next chapter, there will be more waters ahead of you. New currents, new challenges, new moments where you won't be able to feel the ground beneath your feet. It is important to remember, just keep swimming. It is the decision to keep swimming even when you're exhausted, even when you have a cramp, even when no one can hear you calling for help. So, wherever life takes you after today, keep swimming. So where you will find new shores, you will find new purpose, and one day you will look back at this moment the way I looked up at the sky that day, grateful, clear, and realizing that you are exactly where you're supposed to be. Maji, to my grandmother back home in Pakistan, I miss you dearly. Everything accomplished up until this moment is because of how you raised me. Mama, thank you for showing me how to smile through all the trials and tribulations of life. Baba Jani, thank you for all the support and showing me that we can always change for the better at any stage of life. And at last but not the least, the love of my life, my wife. None of this happens without you. You believed in me more than I believed in myself. You deserve the world, and I cannot wait to take it on with you. Thank you. Class of 2026, we did it. I stated my name earlier, but today I earn Dr. Syed Rahil Ahmed Hashmi. Thank you.
Thank you, Rahil. We have several students who have not only completed the requisites associated with the PharmD program, but have also added additional credentials along the way. I'm now pleased to introduce 5 students who will receive a graduate certificate in aging studies. As I announce your name, please rise and be recognized. Evelyn Dow. Erica Nixon Lambert. Sabrina Riley. Please join me in another round of applause recognizing the achievement of these students. You may be seated. Congratulations. We will now receive each of our Doctorate of Pharmacy degree graduates as their name is called in alphabetical order. I would also like to ask our pharmacy students to please stand and follow Dean Matulowicz and Ms. McGee as we prepare for the hooding portion of the program. I'd like to call upon Associate Dean Garcia to introduce recipients, and Dr. Emily Perrin and Dr. Krista Donahoe to hood the candidates for the pharmacy, I should say the Doctor of Pharmacy degree. It's kind of, you worked for it for 4 years, I should say it the right way, the Doctor of Pharmacy degree. As a reminder, we will photograph the presentation of diplomas, and we will also have them available to you after the ceremony. Dean Garcia.
Miriam Amer. Anjali Amen. Alexis Archer. Jacqueline Ashby. Hannah Elizabeth Rosano Azabal. Janelle Atkinson. Layla Atta. Anita Otteran. Colin Bales. Kendall Bowen. Haley Bresnahan. Amaya Carey. Tom Chow. Yunfei Chen. Hope Chesser. Tiffany Crawford. Evelyn Dow. Ahmed Amir El Said. Kiera Fable. Ayla Funk. Angela Gates. Aaron Goodstein. Peyton Harris. Samina Hashmi. Taha Hassad. Deja Hill. Dina Ibrahim. Michaela Johnson. Michelle Johnson. James Ryan Johnston. Ellen Hyrie Kang. Shauna Keene. Darren Liu. Kirsten Locke. Ray Liu. Mirat Mellis. Haley Strom Mickle. Renalini Mukia. Noreen Nasser. Emily Nguyen. Hang Nguyen. Fang Nguyen. Jennifer Nguyen. Quang Nguyen. Kelly Nguyen. Erica Nixon Lambert. Obehi Obenar. Adaremi Olokadana Henry. Sydney Page. John Pham. Joshua Porter. Urepan Rayayoy. Rebecca Riley. Sabrina Elshanti Riley. Eric Arnaldo Reyes. Jalen Robinson. Fatima Sajad. Caleb Siders. Nima Syed Ashraf. Ismat Sifa. Trevor Sproul. Rahil Sayud. Lainey Thompson. V. Tran. Brian Velez. Belinda Vu. Tasneem Wasfi. Tanisha Washington. Jayla Washington Bennett. Ryan Weaver. Pin Shuin Wu. Basima Zaman. Congratulations, class of 2026, let's say.
Let's have one more big round of applause for all of our graduates. I would now like to introduce Dr. Nicole Omasini, Associate Professor in the Department of Pharmacotherapy and Outcome Science, to administer the Pharmacist oath. Dr. Omasini.
Hi again. For the last time, I just want you all to take a moment and feel really proud of yourselves. We are very proud of you. And it's my honor to lead you all in the oath of the pharmacist, so please stand. and participate. I promise to devote myself to a lifetime of service to others through the profession of pharmacy. In fulfilling this vow, I will consider the welfare of humanity, of suffering, concerns. I will promote inclusion and belonging, respect differences in all individuals, and address health disparities to advance health equity for all people. Experience and skills to the best of my ability to assure optimal outcomes for all patients. I will respect and protect all personal and health information entrusted to me. I will accept the responsibility to improve my professional knowledge, expertise, and self-awareness. Colleagues to the highest principles of our profession's moral, ethical, and legal conduct. I will utilize my skills, experiences, and values to prepare the next generation of pharmacists. I take these vows voluntarily with the full realization of the responsibility with which I am entrusted to. Congratulations.
Class of 2026, wow, what an occasion. What an occasion. I look forward to seeing you all again tomorrow for the official conferral of degrees during the university commencement at the Greater Richmond Convention Center. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow at university commencement for the official conferral of your degrees. This concludes our celebration this afternoon, and we ask that all of you please stay seated as our faculty and staff and the class of 2026 recesses. That said, there is one more order of business, and I want to recognize all of you that are here today, that without you, it would have been incredibly difficult, challenging, perhaps even impossible for the class of 2026 to reach this point. So I'm going to ask all the parents that are in the audience, please stand and be recognized. I'm going to ask all children, grandparents, aunts, uncles, please stand and be recognized. Family, friends, significant others, general supporters of the class of 2026, please stand and be recognized. Class of 2026, we are in your hands, and I know the future is incredibly bright. Congratulations again. Congrats, class of 2026.